I just got a message from a young man in Cleveland, Ohio, who has been kicked out of his home. He's 16 years old, about to turn 17 next month. He's in his junior year of high school. His parents just found out that he's gay. His mother and his stepfather. His stepfather decided that he wasn't going to allow or did not want to stay in the same home with another male who is gay, and the mother sided with the stepfather and chose the stepfather over him, and told this young man that he had to get out. I repeat, this young man is 16 years old. This is probably the 5th or 6th email that I have received of this nature from young gay black men across the country who, or not just young gay black men, but also young white gay men. Out of the 5 or 6 emails, 2 of them were white. And I'm sending this message out to the mothers especially, who are discovering that their sons are gay, or who are having to deal with their sons coming to them and telling them that they are gay. I need for the mothers across the country to understand that the strength and the love that a son receives from his mother is paramount beyond any love or support that he can receive from any other venue, any other entity in his life. I don't know. I have no idea where in life I would be if 5 years ago, in January of 2003, when I told my mother and father that I'm gay, if my mother had turned her back on me and forced me to leave our home. I may never have graduated from college in 2004. I may have never, 4 years later, packed my car and moved here to California with the confidence and the strength that I have to chase my dreams in the ways in which I am chasing now. I want mothers to know that when your son comes to you and tells you that he's gay, it's not a decision that he made randomly when he woke up that morning. It's not a decision that he randomly made riding home on the bus that afternoon. Your son has been dealing with this pain, with this struggle, with this internal juxtaposition of feelings for years. And every single time you feel like you don't understand why he's so upset, or you don't understand why he's so sad, or you don't understand why he's angry, it's because he feels like he's walking in this life, walking his life alone, even when he's surrounded by his friends and surrounded by the rest of the family. That secret, the secret of being gay when you had not chosen to be gay, is one of the largest and hardest barriers to hold. And when he comes to you and releases that information, he's not doing it to hurt you. He's not doing it to get back at you for anything. He's doing it because as his mother, he wants you to carry and hold some of the burden. I thought me and my mother were close, but when I told her I was gay, it brought us even closer, because then and only then was I able to really share with her all of the things that I was dealing with and enduring, not just within myself, but with the young man who I was also with. My mother has been for me, my mother has been like, whoo, my mother has been for me a saving grace. I've never in my life, if I've never been more convinced that I could have never made it to this stage in my life without that woman's strength. I know sometimes mothers like to blame themselves and think, well, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I shouldn't have said this to him, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. There is nothing that you could have done differently or said any differently to change who your son has turned out to be. Him being gay does not define who he is as a man. That is his sexuality. The same way for boys who grow up in this world who are heterosexual, that is their sexual identity. It doesn't define them as men. It doesn't define who they're going to be as fathers. It doesn't define who they're going to be in corporate America. It doesn't define who they're going to be as a brother. It doesn't define who they are as a son. It's their sexual identity. It doesn't make up their entire character. I'm a writer. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a friend. I'm a creative being who happens to be gay. Me being gay does not define who I am. And there is nothing that my mother did in raising me versus what she did in raising my sister alongside my father, who existed in my life my entire life. There's nothing that either one of them could have done differently to change my sexual identity. So I ask you, all the mothers, love your sons, embrace them, hold them tighter and hug them harder when they come to you and tell you that they are gay, because they need your support. Because if they don't get it from you, what happens to them is what has happened to so many. They turn to the streets for the love. They turn towards men who use them, abuse them mentally, abuse them physically, abuse them emotionally. And this is where they turn towards the drugs. This is where they drop out of school. This is where they have unprotected sex, because they're looking for love on street corners, in the gay clubs, and all these detrimental environments that shatter their dreams of garnering degrees and pressing forward. And not all fall victim, but enough of them do. When you shut the door on them and turn them into the cold world that doesn't love them, that will never lay their lives on the line for them. So mothers, I ask you, for the thousands of young men who email me on an everyday basis, asking me for advice, crying their pains in letters they send to me, let them know, especially if you can already tell or you already feel it, don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to go to them and ask them if they are gay. Because it opens up a whole nother door of conversation. And for everything that he's dealing with internally, it helps him feel comfortable, because sometimes he can't tell his father. Sometimes he can't tell his friends. Sometimes he can't go to his uncles. He can't go to his older brother. And if you love your son, if you cherish the relationship you have with him, open that door and make him feel loved. Because I tell you, in my life, I wouldn't trade the relationship I have with my mother for anything in this world. And I wouldn't know how to stand and do what I do. Even with these videos, I could not do any of this without the love and the support and the encouragement that I get from mine. Love your sons and let them know that it is okay to be who they are, and that you are going to hold them no matter what. No matter what. Because right now, whereas I would love to be able to open my life and have a home where I could just allow all of them to come and stay with me, I'm not in that financial position to do that. So as his mother, please, please, for their safety and for their futures, leave the door open for them. Love them. Love them so they're not scared, and so they don't have to turn to the streets for the love that they only want from you. Being gay is not a choice. We don't choose this. We don't choose this. I want you to know we don't choose this. Because if I could have chosen years ago, I would never. For all of my brothers out there, I love you. I love each of you. I don't know some of you personally, but I've grown to love you through all the messages you send me. I thank you for encouraging me, and I want you to know, don't ever give up on yourselves. No matter what, don't ever give up on yourselves, because them will never give up on you.